The standoff over Senator Natasha Akpoti suspension is far from being over, as the National Assembly has rejected her request to resume duties, despite her claim that the 6-month disciplinary period has elapsed. The Kogi Central lawmaker, in a letter to the Senate leadership dated September the 4th, argued that her suspension, which began in March, had legally ended in September. She maintains that the suspension was definite and not indefinite, and that her rights and privileges as a senator had been fully restored by law. Senator Akpoti further contended that ongoing appeals, including one filed by Senate President Godswill Akpabio, should not hinder her return. She warns that barring her from the National Assembly amounts to a violation of her constitutional rights and denies her constituents representation. However, acting clerk on the National Assembly, Dr. Yahya Danzaria, in the written response, disagreed with this, insisting the matter remains sub judice. He explains that until the Court of Appeal delivers its ruling, no step will be taken to reinstate her. The senator was suspended in March this year following a heated exchange with Senate President Akpabio during plenary. While a federal high court ruling in July described parts of her suspension as excessive, it upheld the Senate's authority to discipline its members, and both sides have since filed appeals. Meanwhile, counsel to Senator Akpoti has faulted the Senate's decision to bar her from resuming legislative duties. In an exclusive interview with Channels Television, Senator Akpoti lawyer, Ehioje West Idahosa, who's a senior advocate of Nigeria, described her 6-month suspension as unconstitutional. He argues that the Senate lacks the legal authority to suspend a lawmaker for such a period, insisting that the action contravenes the provisions of the Constitution.
Recommendation of a standing committee of the Senate was clear. He said 6 months. 6 months means 6 calendar months. And in any case, I dare say, with the greatest respect, there is nothing like a legislative month. We have legislative days. And that's why you find the rules talk about not more than 14 legislative days. And that's why you find that the Constitution talks about the Senate must sit for X number of days. We count in days, not in months. So where did they get the latitude to suspend her in months? It's part of the entire decline of the polity that we find ourselves in this country. Look, the Senate is not new. It's been in the Fourth Republic. It's been there since 1999. You've had the likes of Kadibo and Werem, Anyim, and David Mark. It's not the first leadership of the Senate. So I don't understand how senators can sit down and not help the institution to grow. How would you not be able to tell yourselves that what we are about to do is excessive and that we will not allow this to happen? Let's fall within the ambit of the law.